What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Reproarcade upgrade kit for the Ocular Maximus Pro, or their version of Defensor. So this is a 3D printed kit that allows you to increase the height of this combiner from 17 inches to 19.5 inches. And it's available from Reproarcade's website, reproarcade.co.uk. It is in the UK, so if you're ordering it from somewhere else, you'll have to pay the shipping to get it over to you. He did send this over to me to take a look at it. And as I mentioned, with 3D printed pieces that are custom made, I typically don't treat them the same as mass-produced items that are made in a factory. So these are also made to order. So at the end of this review, like I normally do, I won't be giving it a score, but I will talk about my thoughts on it and the positives, but I'm not going to give it a score just because it is an art piece, custom made. With that being said, let's talk about first the height. So this guy comes in at 17 inches to the top of the head. And if you're like me, most of the combiners in our Masterpiece Scale collection range from 19 inches to 21 inches. I think Fans Toys are probably the biggest ones right now in terms of the scale. So this gets you to 19.5. I think with the head, it's close to 20. It's almost 20 inches. So that gets you very close to the height of the other combiners in the set. So let's get started taking a look at this. We'll start off by first reconfiguring some of the things that you need to do on the waist piece here. All right, so the first step we're going to do is we're going to lengthen the hip piece. And this is actually something you could do even if you don't have this kit. It does look a little funky because the way it ends up is this piece isn't long enough to cover, but you could do this if you just wanted to heighten him without the kit. So you can fold that down, come to the back here. We have to undo all of this. So unpeg this clip, unpeg this clip, then come to the inside, unpeg this clip, open up this panel, and then we're going to, according to this out, you have to unpeg this thigh piece from the inside. It's pretty tight tab, but you want to unpeg it, lift it up on that tab, and then we're going to reinsert all these clips. So clip that in, clip this in on the inside, fold this back down, and fold that down. And you can see now I've got one side higher than the other. And just showing you from the front, now you can see how it looks a little awkward. And that's why we have a new waist piece that makes it look right. But go ahead and do the same thing on this side. All right, so there it is with both legs extended. Like I mentioned, you could do this without the upgrade kit, but it's going to look a little weird. And that's why we have this piece here. So you've got this blue piece has got two movable hip skirts here done in black. This will fit right here. You can see there's a slot here. And there's a tab there. So this is sliding onto that tab. So just slide it straight back onto that tab. And if you come to the back here, you can see these two are going to clip around this and hold it on there. And then on the bottom here, there's a little clip that kind of acts as a stopper. That's part of his crotch plate. So all of that works together to kind of hold this hip skirt in place. And it's not going anywhere, it's pretty solid. But that definitely looks better, at least in my opinion. That looks a lot more cohesive just on the waist piece alone. All right, so coming down to the feet, we have this new piece here. It is a platform shoe. I would argue the original feet, and I think I mentioned this in my review, I never thought these feet were very good. They don't look very good, and they're kind of unstable, to be honest. They're like a little too small, especially the toe. A little too small for the overall body. So I always thought, it could use a bigger foot anyways. But this has the additional purpose of looking better, but also giving him height. So you're going to take this. It's very simple. You're just going to slide this cube into here. Lift up on this. And this should slide all the way forward. And it's going to sit like that. Now, let me put the other one on. I'll give you an option, but you can fold this a little bit differently. So go ahead, same thing on the other side. Make sure the foot's fully assembled. and then slide it in all the way forward until it meets up here. Right? And now that we have that, we can, there's an option here. Now this is the way he recommends to install it. I like to take this and flip it down. I just think it looks a little better. Again, it's your option, but make sure it's pushed all the way forward and then flip this down. I like to do it like that, but up to you. But there's the new feet. All right, the last upgrade piece is the head. So we're going to just pull up on the head. Now, you do need to fold away the other head. And if you haven't done that already, I'll just show you really quick how to do that. You're going to open up these panels. We're going to flip down this backpack piece. And here's the other head. So if you haven't flipped this in, rotate this around, flip this up. So you may have it like this, with the head underneath the other head. You're going to fold this down, rotate this back the other way, and then stow the head in there and put all this backpack back in. And now we've got that other head hidden. And then we can take the new head, and I'm just going to show you up close. Here's the new 3D printed head. Here's the original. It does look pretty good. However, in some pictures and in some lighting, it looks kind of like he doesn't have lips. So I think it's just due to the fact that it's 3D printed. When I put it on there in a distance, it doesn't look as good, but I'm just showing you up front. It does look really nice. It might help to paint it. I might paint it like silver like this, but it does come unpainted. The eyes are also kind of like a metallic blue 3D printed plastic. You could paint those as well. So anyway, you're going to stick those on. This has two little clips down here that attach to those same two round clips. And that's it. While we're here, we might as well take a look at the articulation on the head. You now actually get a little bit more down and up because of the design. So it goes all the way down to there, all the way back to there. It still rotates like it did before, so that hasn't changed, but you get more up and down now, and the head tends to match the body a little bit better. All right, and here's the final look with all the parts, the waist, feet, and head. And I'm a big fan. I really like how this looks. I know there were some people saying that they don't like the look of the boots. I personally like the bigger feet. I thought his feet were too small in the original. But I think the bigger thing is, let's see how he looks with some other combiners. All right, for a size comparison, there it is next to the Tour World Constructor, their version of Devastator, and arguably the standard for combiner size in the Masterpiece scale. This guy comes to 20 inches to the top of the head. And like I mentioned, this guy is 19.5 inches, so about a ½ inch shy of the Tour World Constructor. But I think it works. I think the size is comparable now with this other combiners. And just for fun, there it is next to the Hasbro Studio Series Devastator, which comes in at 13 inches. A lot of people have said this guy was more of a chug combiner. I don't think it's a chug combiner. It's much bigger at 17 inches. But now he towers over them, so definitely can fit in with Masterpiece. All right, and finally, there it is with the Fans Toys Marauder, their version of Menasor, which is the largest combiners that we've gotten to date. This comes in at 20 3/4 inches, not 21. So this guy is about 1.25 inches smaller at 19.5. So final recommendations on the Reproarcade upgrade kit for Ocular Maximus Pro. I really like this thing. I like the idea of increasing the height to the other combiners. I do prefer these feet over the original. One, they're more stable because of the increased surface area and the larger toe and the fact that the toe doesn't bend. He doesn't fall over as easy. And two, I just think it looks better with a bigger foot. I always thought the original foot was too small, especially the toe. I think the toe was too small. Some people say that maybe these platform feet are too big. I guess I would say maybe, but with the added waist piece, I think it fixes that problem, because now it looks like he has a more bigger midsection right there, especially with the mod to the hips. And then the head sculpt does look good. I will say the facial features are not as pronounced on this 3D printed version. So I'll probably paint it just so it looks a little bit more, stands out. But I do think it looks good. And overall, I'm happy with the height. I'll be displaying this guy like this from now on in my collection. I think he looks good. He can stand in as a Masterpiece Defensor. And I'll be getting the Toy Deco versions of the Ocular Max figures for my robot modes. So now I've got both, and I think that really works out for me. Now, I did get one other thing from Reproarcade. It's their upgrade for the Fans Toys Marauder, their version of Menasor. It allows you to fill in the inside so you can remove Motormaster and display him without Motormaster. But stay tuned for that. Thanks to Reproarcade for sending this for review. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.